Hey guys, here is another quick tutorial. This one is for Pincha, aka forearm stand, and I'm super excited to share it with you because I love Pincha. And like all my other videos and tutorials, this is going to be super sweet and super to the point, mainly cues with a few tips and tricks as they come to mind, but I'm going to be focusing mainly on the cues. And so my favorite way to get into Pincha, and the really only way I know how to get into Pincha safely, is from dolphin pose. So I'm going to go ahead and cue you from there. And before I get started, one of the big bases, and basically step one of Pincha, is getting your forearms shoulder width distance apart. And that's why I like starting from dolphin, and why I feel like it's really safe to enter from dolphin, one of the reasons why. And because your arms are naturally already forearms distance apart. Not forearms distance apart, or shoulder width distance apart in dolphin. Okay, so from dolphin, when you just come into it from down dog or however you come into it, walk your feet up a little bit, like a foot width distance, like one step forward towards your elbows. Because when you do that, then your shoulders come up and stack above your elbows, which is key here. You want to get your elbows and shoulders to stack initially, and then eventually you want your hips to be stacking above your elbows and shoulders in one long line. And from here, what I do is I lift a leg, and go ahead, maybe walk the grounded foot in another footstep, okay? And from here, hug your belly button up and in, and just begin to kick. Taking as big or as little kicks as you need. That one was kind of a big kick, but I was able just to kind of float up, okay? And you can hold this shape right here, these L legs, for as long as you want or need to, until you build the confidence and the leg strength to lift up that leg so it's parallel, and I'll show that in a moment. So when you're first starting out in Pincha, I encourage you to go to the wall. Big tip here. Go to the wall, because when you go to the wall, it takes out that fear of falling over, right? But also it allows you to kick up as much as you want or need to. That was not a whole heck of a big kick there, right? There wasn't a lot of power behind that kick because I've been practicing Pincha for a while. But sometimes you need to kick up a lot, okay? And when you're kicking up with a lot of force, it's safest to do it at the wall so that way you don't flip over it and hurt yourself. Because that's a big thing in Pincha. So it's flipping over when you kick too hard. And also when you're at the wall, you're able just to really focus on figuring out how the pose feels, how to get into the pose and what it feels like in your body. I already said that. But also the little nuances of the pose that allow you to stay up. So starting out in the middle of the room is not what I recommend at all, because you're not going to be able to figure out how to stay up in the pose and all the little bits and pieces of the pose that allow you to stay up in the middle of the room. Okay, so that's why I always encourage my students just to hang out the wall when you first start any new inversion, really. Because when you do that, like I said, it takes out the fear of falling and it allows you to figure out the pose itself, and then it allows you to get better at free hanging, so not having your feet on the wall but having the wall right behind you to support yourself, and then eventually move into the middle of the room. So here I go again with Pincha, and I'll show you this time how to lift that leg. Okay, so I'm going to walk my feet up, lift a leg, walk this foot up a little bit more, and then just lift my left leg up to meet my right. And once you get into your Pincha, whether it's with those staggered legs or these straight legs, actively press your forearms down to the mat, so that way you're activating your shoulders here. And engage all the way up to your toe tips the entire time, keeping your belly button hugged up and in as well to engage that core of yours. When you come out, you just lower a leg, and then the other leg naturally follows. I would do one leg at a time. That way you're not doing both legs and you're just like having all that momentum carrying you down. Okay, I would definitely do one leg at a time to come out of the pose. But back to the forearm thing. By pressing your forearms down to mat, you activate your shoulders. By activating your shoulders, you're more steady in the pose, and also it allows you to lift up further away from the mat. Because if you collapse down to your shoulders, then you're going to lower a few centimeters or even a few inches if you have longer arms down towards the mat. And by doing that, you lower your center of gravity and you lower your hips. And when that happens, you're more likely to fall. You're less engaged, and if you do fall, you have less clearance from the floor. So you might just like crash land your face on the floor, which I have done a few times, and it really, really hurts. Don't do that unless you can absolutely, basically try not to do that, okay? It really hurts. I couldn't think of a better way to say it. Just try not to do that. So keep your arms engaged and press your forearms down so that way you stay active all the way up. So as always, I hope this helps with your Pincha journey, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste. Hey guys, here is a little extra add-on slash tidbit, whatever you want to call it, for Pincha. I realized when I was reviewing the video that I really didn't show you how to kick up into the pose like with big kicks. I just kind of described it and then showed you more of a lifting sensation through my own practice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those kicks because I feel like it's unfair for me not to show you those. To describe them but like actually not show you. So here we go. For my dolphin pose, I'm going to lift my right leg up, set up my Pincha base. For here, I'm going to lower my right leg down a little bit, and I'm going to bend my left knee, and then use the strength of my left leg and my left glute to not pile drive really, but to hop. And by doing that, I pile drive my right foot up into the air, I guess, or lift that right leg up into the air. Okay. And then with time, you can straighten out that left leg up towards that sky. Okay, so those were kind of controlled kicks. They're not always controlled, even for me. I guess today's just a good day for kicking for me. So don't be discouraged when you start out Pincha that your kicks are wild and crazy and you're flipping all over the place, because that's honestly where I started. It took me 6 months at a wall to feel comfortable enough to do this in the middle of the room, and I would be able to hang it for like 2 or 3 seconds and then fall out of the pose. And it took me, after those 6 months, an entire summer, so an entire 3 months to really get comfortable with being in the middle of the room and really build a strong Pincha practice away from the wall and not here on my mat in the middle of the room. So again, I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste.